Why'd you get into comedy?
I have no idea.
You do so many things. I am exhausted just reading your bio.
I'm exhausted thinking about my bio.
How do you do it all?
I've learned not to sleep. That has been getting in the way, so I've
That's
cut that out.
a pro tip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Sleep
It's a waste of time. Yeah.
Said no one ever.
Yeah.
You have been in the comedy scene here in Austin for a long time.
Yeah, about 10 years now. It's been, oh boy, rocky, bumpy, and fun. I mean, it takes a long time to establish your comedic voice and get any good at this weird thing. And then it's only been the last couple years I felt comfortable and able to do really fun, cool stuff without getting super nervous. I don't know if you can tell this, but I'm also transgender. I'm not just hot in a weird way. When you're transgender and a lesbian and you want to dress and get a haircut that communicates you're a lesbian, you have to be very careful not to end up right back where you started.
How do you describe your comedic voice?
The mom next door who's got a life that you did not know about.
Plot twist.
Yeah, exactly. I try to come across as just sort of a regular everyday gal, but then like I start talking and people are like, whoa, what is really going on in your life? And that's where the humor comes from. Recently changed the name and gender on my driver's license, which was a big deal. That was exciting. I thought it was gonna be hard. It's not. You think Texas is gonna make this hard on you, but it's really easy. You just find an alcoholic judge who's not running for re-election. The scene has always been strong the entire 10 years that I've been here. This is one of like the comedy meccas in America. I call it the live comedy capital of the world. So I've seen a lot of people move here just to do comedy and then move away. We always have this turnover. So it's been really nice to be one of the people who stays and kind of presents some sort of continuity for our scene. There's a handful of us who aren't going anywhere.
Live comedy capital of the world.
Live comedy
We need
capital.
that on a bumper sticker, folks.
Absolutely.
Are you out there campaigning for that?
I am. I run a little website called Last Gas Comedy, and that's our tagline, because we just list all the shows that are going on, and people have no idea how much free comedy is out there.
What do you think about Moon Tower?
Oh my God, I love it. When I started here, we didn't have anything like it, and it's been going for quite some time now. It's comedy heaven for that one weekend. They get such big names to come through town in all these little accessible venues. So like even the comedians in town get really excited to just stand around the doors and peek in and like, oh my gosh, look who's there. So, yeah.
What's it like when a bunch of comedians are just hanging out?
It's a different culture. Is that the most diplomatic way to put it?
That works.
Yeah. Comedians size each other up in a really funny way. I mean, we're all ready for that. The first sentence when you say it to a comedian, you're ready for it to be torn apart. So like everybody's a little bit on guard.
Yeah.
But honestly, comics are some of the nicest, most thoughtful people I've ever met. I think it has something to do with the way that we process the world. Everybody's a little bit more observant, a little bit more thoughtful about what's going on around them. You get into really fascinating conversations if you ever get a chance to speak to a comedian, especially one who's been around the block and seen a few things.
Why'd you get into comedy?
I have no idea.
That was the first and last page of her biography. Why I got into comedy.
I moved to Austin and I immediately joined a band because that's the law. And I was in a band for a minute and I realized two things. One, I don't have any musical talent, and two, it's a real pain to get a rehearsal together with all the schedules and all the people. And then I had some friends who did stand-up and I realized, oh, you can just do that whenever you want to. You don't have to coordinate with anybody else, you just show up and do it. So I decided to do that instead, and I got the bug and I got hooked, and I was terrible for years and now I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
You have other great things going on too. You have a podcast.
I have a podcast called Thanks Academy, and that's where me and some of the other comedians in the scene, we get together and we watch all the Best Picture winners in Academy Awards history in random order. And I always pick a movie that the person watching it with hasn't seen. So we're going in fresh, we're going in blind, and we just react to it as if we know nothing about the movie and see if they hold up. And the spoiler alert is most of these movies are kind of terrible.
Oh.
Yeah. Why did this thing win Best Picture, and is it entertaining at all in 2018? Or is it just boring? Or is it problematic? Or is it just hilarious now and it was meant to be taken seriously? And because we don't know anything about movies, we bring that fresh kind of approach to it.
Where can we listen to that?
It's on everything. Just ask a
The
robot.
World Wide Web. Siri will help you find it.
Siri will help you, Alexa will help you. All the robots know where my podcast is.
And do they know what it's called?
It's called Thanks Academy.
Okay, there you go. What do you think about the way Austin's changed?
I love it. I'm a growing city kind of person. Some things are annoying though. The scooters, all of them.
Any of the
I don't
scooters.
care which brand.
Well, have you ridden them?
I did one time, and it was an unsuccessful ride. I tried to stop and I fell and I hurt my knee.
Well, that's brutal.
And I've spent a week in recovery.
She's been at Scooter Recovery Center. Was that a
Yes.
crowded place?
It is. It's I went to an urgent care and I said I fell off a scooter and they were like, yeah, everybody who sees us fell off a scooter.
Stop. I have been
Yeah.
wondering about this. I think they're a public safety risk, and I say that because when I ride them, it is a safety risk to everyone around me.
I didn't wear a helmet either.
So
Yeah,
you're one of
I
them.
should have wore some knee pads. Do you remember how I do too much? One of the things I cut out besides sleep is cleaning. Yeah. So I'm teaching my children that if they want a clean house, they're going to have to do it themselves. And it's working. That's a life hack. Yeah.
That is a pro tip right there. What else is bringing you joy?
I'm just so focused on my children right now and doing comedy, and I'm not just doing stand-up, but getting to do unusual shows, getting to really kind of like stretch as a performer. That's my favorite thing. I have a show called Live at Cold Town Theater. It's the best stand-up, longest running stand-up show in town. Otherwise, I just am a vagrant, just like every other comic in town. You can catch me in laundromats and bus stops and wherever we do stand-up comedy in Austin.
You will not catch them on scooters.
Not yet. We probably will have a scooter show at some point.
Helmets. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Cheers. Thank you.